She's just a lonely girl who's sick and tired of being alone. She does her best to paint a fairy tale to see where it goes. Her time is running out. Time is running out. The clock is ticking down, but he's not ready to go. He builds her up to knock her down. He builds her up. He'll take her higher and higher today. She doesn't like the games he plays. She acts like everything's okay. She doesn't want to walk away. He doesn't think to call, he doesn't care if he's on her mind. He told her she's the one, he's got another girl on the side.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Versus. Welcome to the place where we have technical difficulties. That's right. This week we got some kick-ass movie battle action happening. Mainly, we are talking about Corpse Bride and Frankenweenie. Hell yeah, but before we can talk about all that, I need you guys to do me a favor. Look at Van Damme's Versus. All right, let's get Curtis in here. What is up, Curtis? How you doing, man?
I'm doing very well. I wonder if you can put the subscribe button where they click right where it says
right.
versus. That way they know. Just touch the versus.
Oh, I mean, I can try.
Just click versus and bam,
Just-
you're subscribed.
Just a little click.
Or flick it. Maybe just flick it a little bit.
Just a little flick. Okay. Yeah, we can try that. I'll see what I can work out. Hell yeah. Well, gang, we have a crazy week. Let's talk to the nice chat that was nice enough to stick with us through all these technical issues I've had
Yes.
today.
All right.
Wow.
Patient, lovely people.
That's right. Patience is virtue. That's what they say, you know.
Indeed.
Let's see who we got. Let's see here. We got Bobbi. We got Mel. Curtis, that is a sexy haircut, says Mel. Bobby.
As she says, smexy.
Oh, smexy. And then Bobby
I
says,
don't know
yep.
what that means.
And then Bakertown says, okay. So we get some good stuff.
Well, they had it going in the other one, and Riley was in there. Hopefully, Riley made it over, and yeah, there's a couple more people in there.
This
They will join us quickly.
if you build it, they will come. They will be back. We hope. We hope. I mean, we're only 40 minutes late. It's not that big a deal, you know.
Yeah, that's all right.
I mean, whatever. It's just their Friday night, you know. I'm gonna turn that down a little bit. Turn down for what?
Thank you, Mel.
Thank you. Holy smokes, man, you're hurting me. Frankenweenie, what a movie. I feel like we should just hang for a second while everybody figures out what the hell's going on. How'd your week go, Curtis?
These last couple ones have been long, and just busy, and I was chewing gum today and bit the hell out of my tongue. Yeah, I mean, a real good one. Like tasted blood for about an hour.
Yeah, that's gross. I mean, that sucks. It's not gross, but yeah.
But yeah, just weird, busy. You know.
Do you ever get your wisdom teeth pulled?
Yeah.
Yeah,
a couple years ago, actually.
When you got the gauze you got to hang on to on the gauze, that's gross.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
it's the worst. It's the worst breath ever, too. I remember waking up the next day and I was like, "Oh my God, this is the you've got like wounds and it's gross." You know, I don't know why I'm talking about this. Probably because we're.
All you can eat is.
All you can eat is ice cream.
All you can eat is. Yeah, well, ice cream or mashed potatoes or like stuff like that.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, ice cream and like gauze is like it doesn't even sound good. You're like, dude, I just want to enjoy something, and I can't enjoy anything, and it's terrible. It's terrible. Well, we got Frankenweenie, which my poor mom's little dog died this week. So yeah, so this show goes out to Missy, who's in dog heaven right now. So Frankenweenie already, I think, because of that, I want to proclaim the winner, because if I could if we could make a little Franken Chihuahua, that I would do it. Bless you, Curtis. Man, you're sneezing all over me, dude. All over my neck.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Yeah. Mel says she had a septoplasty for a deviated septum, bled for 40 hours, and had to change gauze every 45 minutes.
Ew.
Yeah, I've got a deviated septum. I need to get it fixed, but it's one of those things I've been putting off for 5 years now.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Bobbi needs major dental. Thank you very much,
dude. No pain, just rotten teeth. My buddy Dustin, who we've had on here before, Dustin. He one time got bitten by a brown recluse, and
oh my God, that's terrifying.
Right on the arm, and it causes like necrotic tissue, and your tissue just starts dying. And basically, what they did, he went there and he had a big old spot on his arm right there. And I'm trying to get away from you, right there, and so he said, okay, well, they went in there and they just took this thing and they just scraped out all the tissue out of there, just scraped it all out, and then packed it with gauze. And then he said that every single day he had to pull all the gauze that was filling that void, pull it all out and repack it with new gauze, and then clean out the inside, stick a thing into that hole and like basically clean out that thing. And eventually the tissue grew out and filled up the void, but he had to clean it every day. That's how they do that. You don't want to just leave a hole in there. So isn't that messed up?
Yeah, the brown recluses are terrifying to me. Because the only cure is they just keep cutting until they get it, until it's gone. And sometimes they don't get it all, and it just keeps oh my God, I'm glad he's okay. Those things are terrifying.
Yeah, I'm glad he didn't lose his arm, because there would be no Ritalin kids. Ritalin
they
kids wouldn't.
They just keep cutting until it's
yeah. So they dug it all out, but yeah, it had to grow back too. It's crazy. Oh man. Oh wow. Melissa says Mel says it's bacteria that causes necrosis, not the venom itself. Wild.
Either way, keep that fucking bacteria-ridden spider away from me, and they're everywhere here in Texas. Oh
yeah, I see them all over the place. I've got a couple right down here.
No. In your butt?
No. Yeah, in my butt. I've done that in my practice. Wasn't from brown recluse. You've done what? You've done you've done the clean the hole out with the Q-tip thing for maybe a different thing. And we got Nikki Cunningham says Texas, lucky. Hell yeah, Texas.
Come on down.
Big enough for everybody. Yeah. Hi, Nikki, says Mel. Yeah, we're in Texas. Definitely here in Texas. And we got 6 cleaned wounds. Yeah, it's gross. And it makes me wonder how much of that bacteria was in Frankenweenie. There's some pretty nasty little wounds that are those are some large stitches, It
was probably loaded up. Poor dude.
Yeah. Well, let's get on with the show, man. We're about 10 minutes in. I think we got some people in, and we could start talking about this. And you guys wanted these movies, so we did them, and that was fun. Tim Burton movies are always a good time. I enjoyed them. The first one up, we got Frankenweenie. Frankenweenie's a fun movie. Let's see here. Young Victor Frankenstein Frankenstein is a science nerd and outsider at school, but he does have a good friend, his dog Sparky. But then tragedy strikes, and Sparky shuffles off this mortal coil. Victor's heartbroken, but his science teacher, Martin Landau, gives him an idea of how to jolt old Sparky back to life. The experiment is successful, and all goes well until Victor's fellow students steal his secret and use it to resurrect other dead animals with monstrous consequences. That is Frankenweenie. Frankenweenie was a fun movie. I super enjoyed that movie. How about you, Curtis?
I really did. So I've owned this movie for, about 5 years or so at least. And I've seen it in and out, but never like sat down. I got it for the kids and I would put it on for them and stuff and seen it in and out, but never like sat down and watched it like I did for this show.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed the hell out of this movie. It's based off of a live action short that Tim Burton did in 1984, I think it was. And it's streaming on Disney Plus. The short is, so you can check that out if you want. So he had this idea for a long time before he was actually able to make the movie. It's a really good movie.
There's a Frankenweenie that's that's older, that has the wife from what's her name? That has the wife from The Shining as the mom. And
yeah, that's the one. That's the short. That's the live action short.
Oh, okay. And it's her in it?
Yeah, and it's got what's his name? Mel from Home Alone is the dad.
Yeah, and the dog looks like Spuds McKenzie.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I saw a thumbnail for it, and I was like, "Ooh, I gotta watch that." And I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. And the other movie we're doing here today, we're gathered here today to talk about The Corpse Bride. The Corpse Bride. Victor, who's played by Johnny Depp, and Victoria's, Emily Watson's, families have arranged their marriage. Though they like each other, Victor is nervous about the ceremony. While he's in a forest practicing his lines for the wedding, a tree branch becomes a hand that drags him into the land of the dead. It belongs to Emily, who was murdered after eloping with her love and wants to marry Victor. Victor must get back above ground before Victoria marries the villainous Barkis Bittern, played by Richard E. Grant. Yeah, this was a fun movie too. I pretty much like anything Helena Bonham Carter does. She's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Depp was fantastic. The whole cast was great, and this was a fun movie too. I wasn't in as good of a mood as when I watched Frankenweenie. When I saw this, I was kind of tired and it was kind of late. I want to know how I would feel about this movie if I saw it refreshed. I watched it late at night. You know what I mean? And because
go ahead.
it was for me, it was okay. Like, I didn't love this movie. It was okay. I think a big part of that is the show tunes. I'm not a song and dance man. Like, they didn't have any show tunes. They didn't have any, like, when, I don't need to see if I'm, as a child, I enjoyed Mary Poppins, but, I don't necessarily want to watch a movie where chimney sweepers start dancing on the rooftops and all. I'm not into it. It's not my deal. Not my thing. You know what I mean? But I like storytelling. I just don't always like the song and dance man. And musicals are part of that. And I've talked about that before. This, I was like, okay, here we go. We're going into another musical number. Let's get on with the story. You know what I mean? I like creepy stuff. I like Tim Burton stuff. And, I wanted to see a creepy story and some fun. I got that in Frankenweenie. I didn't appreciate the musical aspects of this, and I'm not talking about the score, and I'm not saying I didn't like the music. I just don't like I don't like musicals. So there you go. So that's just me, and maybe I'm a stick in the mud, but that's just me. So go ahead.
No, that's just your opinion. I mean, it's wrong, but it's it's just your opinion. For me, honestly, the music was kind of the saving grace of this film. I was kind of bored with this movie, and the music was, but the musical aspects of it I thought were really good. I thought they were kind of jamming. Um, and it's fine. The performances are good. The stop motion is always good, but it just seemed like he wanted to do something else after Nightmare Before Christmas, which is amazing, and he made this one, and it's good. But it's an hour and 15-minute movie, and it still felt kind of long in parts to me. So it was amazing. The kids dug it obviously more than I did, but I think they enjoyed Frankenweenie more, and I definitely enjoyed Frankenweenie more. But like this one was good. I remember it being better for some reason because I think about this one first, but I don't know, or maybe I've just seen it too many times. Maybe that's it. Like it's not one that I watch every year, but I've seen it a good bit, and it was just kind of lackluster, maybe, or I don't know. But like you were saying, maybe just compared to Frankenweenie, it doesn't seem as grandiose or something.
I like the idea of the story. Like if they made a movie about this,
Mhm.
I think
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that being really cool.
make a movie, make it real creepy in the same way like Beetlejuice. You know what I mean? It's but like I almost felt like the music part was filler to extend this because maybe it's expensive or takes a long time to do stop motion. So let's just fill it, even though they're doing stop motion on that. But maybe there's less talking. I don't know. Basically, every time there was song and dance happening, I'm like, okay, can we get this over with so we can get back to the story? And maybe that's a flaw of mine. There's a lot of times when I'm like, oh great, here we go, and I have a pleasant experience. It's just this wasn't one of those times. And I'm gonna say maybe when I was a little kid, I had a different perspective, and maybe this movie was for kids. You know what I mean? But I had a great time with Frankenweenie. I liked all the throwbacks and the nods to classic horror stuff. I liked just the vibe, the quirky vibe and the gross vibe, and there was gross stuff and just quirky. It was fun. It was a lot more fun, and maybe because it wasn't I was gonna say it wasn't a love story. It was a love story. It was a different kind of love story.
It damn sure was.
But also I had some issues with how easily people would give up in things in the other movie where it's like to where it wasn't realistic, and it isn't realistic. It's a corpse bride movie, you know what I mean? But I was just like, I'm not buying this movie, dude. I'm not buying it. So.
Well, and that's the thing too with a lot of Tim Burton stuff. I mean, it's almost and not even really, really like almost every other movie that he does. For me, some people like everything that he does. For me, it's almost these camps where it's like I love it, like Beetlejuice, Edward Scissorhands, Batman, well, both Batman movies, Nightmare Before Christmas, now Franklin. And then there's other ones in the camp that I just hate them, like the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I mean, I don't know, he's done a lot of other stuff too, but I just I probably like more than I dislike, but just his style can be overwhelming at times.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not saying that that's how it was with Corpse Bride, but it was and especially I think it's maybe because it was his style again, and he sticks Johnny Depp in there again, and he sticks Helena Bonham Carter in there again, who are both fantastic actors, and they did a great job. But it's just so indicative of his style, It's so Burton.
I didn't even notice that Johnny Depp was in this movie. I didn't even know it was him until after the movie was over. Nor did I didn't even know.
Oh, really?
I didn't know who any of the cast was. I didn't know Emma Watson was in. I didn't know Helena Bonham Carter. I didn't know that. I just watched it and I had a good time.
Yeah, and Alice is the same. I'm wondering with Alice in Wonderland. I need to watch that one again. I'm not sure because there were parts again that just the over stylistic, but I do like how he made it. I mean, Alice in Wonderland is a really creepy story when you get down to it.
Yeah.
And whenever got Disneyfied. Even parts of that movie were actually pretty creepy, but I did like how he kind of creeped it out again. But I probably need to rewatch that one.
And I said Emma. I meant Emily Watson when I said that. I'm seeing Richard. I didn't know that Richard E. Grant was the villain in that movie. You know who he is? Richard E. Grant is classic Loki, who's the older guy who's like, glorious purpose! My favorite part of that entire series. He was badass.
That's great.
I like him forever. That guy can never do anything. He could just take a giant crap in everything he ever puts on film for the rest of his life, and I'm going to be like, hell yeah, Richard E. Grant, glorious purpose.
That's some glorious purpose, baby.
And I promise you, I've been all over the place, and I've been to Arizona, I mean, like 30 or 40 times. I've never been to the Grand Canyon, but whenever I finally do get to go to the Grand Canyon, I'm going to scream, glorious purpose! So just letting y'all know that. Richard E. Grant is badass. Like I said, Helena Bonham Carter, anything she does, I back it. So,
yeah, I do. But that's what I mean. Like just that core group. He's kind of always putting the same thing on, and sometimes it can be a little much, man. I don't know. Sometimes his stuff can be, for me, over the top, or too quirky.
I like his style, and I like the all the Hot Topic kids wearing black and white striped socks and having a good time. I back it. Give me some.
That's
yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see. My daughter has what do we got going on here in the? I relate to Corpse Bride. And my daughter had. Let's see here. For me, like also, it annoys me when I see things like, our parents are making us get married. I like you, and it's like, and then like, she's gonna marry someone else. Oh, I'm like, bull crap, dude. Like if it were me, I'd be like, F that. Let's, you know what I mean? Like a bunch of pushovers. Like it's just like, come on, you guys. You need it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know how to put it into words. No. I'm like it. Like the whole story annoys me. The entire story annoyed me. I'm like, really? Come on.
Yeah. And then they, at the end they do love each other and stuff like that. It's kind of.
It's sweet. It's sweet and cute and whatnot. But I'm like, F that. I like people with conviction. You know what I mean? If I want to watch a story, I want to be like, they're really trying to keep them apart, and he's fighting to get back. He was just kind of like, oh, okay, I guess I'll marry.
Dawn.
I guess I'll just die and marry this corpse bride. Like, F that, dude. If there's true love involved, if it was love at first sight, and like I was getting forced into this and I was just going along with it, but when I met her at the piano, it changed me and I love her now. Love at first sight. Cool. But then he should be fighting to get back to her, and I don't know. I'd be like, she's marrying someone else? She wouldn't do that. We shared a moment at the piano. I'm like, and I would, move hell and earth to get back. But this like, okay, I guess I'll just spend eternity with this corpse bride. I'm not buying it. So
he's like, they're like, you can't get married. And he's like, well, I guess I'll just go and die then.
Yeah, I'm like, really? Where like the other movie, they're like, well, my dog died, but I'm not going to accept this, and I'm going to do something really disgusting and immoral and dig up my dog corpse and reanimate it.
Get in the face of God.
Yeah, that's right.
To bring my dog back.
Science. So,
but Bobby is right. That's how it was back then. It's pretty interesting. Marrying for love is really like a 20th century idea. Like even up to like the 1900s, people didn't marry for love. It was for money and survival. Like,
yeah.
So, but Still, we, you know,
I'm a good.
we wouldn't do that.
I'm a good provider. Oh,
Bobby says we did what we were told.
You spend the rest of your life sleeping with that person, and you'll like it. Yep.
Indeed.
And it is still like that in some parts of the world. You know what I mean?
Very much,
It really
yeah,
is.
Yeah. I mean, even here, it's just not as overt. A lot of people do, you know, marry people out of social pressures that they don't necessarily want to be with, don't, you know, necessarily love, and
yeah,
you know.
and a lot of people are like, hey, his house is nice. I think I'll marry that guy. You know?
Yeah, yeah. That's so many people still straight up get married for
or she drives a nice car. I bet she could help me pay for my college. You know?
Them some good birthing hips. You won't get hitched.
then there's that. Let's see here.
Her first baby come out sideways. She didn't scream or nothing.
Jeez Louise. Man, we could start a OnlyFans. Anyway, let's get on with the show. All right, like I said, the first movie is Frankenweenie. Moving along. The second one is Corpse Bride. Who will win? We will use our scientific technique of judging and points.
Science.
Each one gets one skull to begin with. Why? Because it helps me. Oh boy. Let's jump into it. You ready, guys? Wow, Curtis, funny though. It's true. Birthing hips is like that's a thing.
That's a real thing, yeah.
That's a real thing. Birthing hips. All right. Not for me. I don't want kids. So there you go. Cast. Who had the best cast in this thing? Oh boy. Probably the same cast, right? It's Tim Burton. I'm just kidding.
Honestly, you're not for most movies. But this one actually is different.
We got Helena Bonham Carter. This is Corpse Bride. Johnny Depp, Danny Elfman. We got Emily Watson. We got Albert Finney. We got Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee was the minister.
Yeah.
You could tell right away. I was like, okay, it's this Count Dooku. You don't have your vows, Count Dooku. Dark Side. Richard E. Grant, Glorious Purpose. We got Deep Roy. It's funny. It is a bunch of people from other Tim Burton movies. I love. He's like, cool. These are my people. I like my people. I'm gonna keep using my people. And there's a whole bunch of people. Tracy Ullman's in here. A whole bunch of stuff. And then we got Winona Ryder from Beetlejuice. We got Martin Short. Martin Short was fantastic. Catherine O'Hara is fantastic, also from Beetlejuice. We got Martin Landau. He's fantastic. Edgar was played by Atticus Schaefer. We have Victor Frankenstein is Charlie Tan. What were you going to say, Curtis?
Well, I was going to say you've got, although it's kind of a bit part, you've got Tom Kenny, SpongeBob himself, as the bunch of townsfolk voices. And you've got Christopher Lee's in this as well. You've got this guy. I decided I had to check him out because D. Bradley Baker. He does a bunch of the voices. But check this out. I just clicked on him because he's a baker. He was Eagly in Peacemaker, baby. He's done a bunch of SpongeBob, American Dad, Family Guy, a bunch of voiceover work. But yeah, got to stick with the family.
Well, Jeffrey Jones, which he's also in Beetlejuice, but he's also in Howard the Duck, if you remember that. I get Shelley Duvall.
Oh, that's absolutely right, yeah.
Yeah, and then we got Sofia Coppola, who's also a great director. So many good people in this. Who's the better cast? Man, it's hard to say, really. Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter, Martin Short, Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara. and Shelley Duvall. This is super tough.
Yeah.
This is very tough. Glorious Purpose. Oh man, Tracy Ullman. She's a fantastically gifted person, and Christopher Lee. Like this is a very well balanced back and forth. Like
it is. Let's see, Frankenweenie. What you got? Let's see.
Oh boy,
where can we?
I can't even pick.
Yeah, I mean they're both, and that's what I was going to say. We could go star power wise, but they kind of even match up on that.
They are talent and star power. They're pretty
evenly matched.
I might have to pull a draw on this one. I don't think I can decide.
Bobby's saying Frankenweenie. I mean, we could do a draw, but I say stick with the family. We got a Baker in there. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You got Helena Bonham Carter, Johnny Depp, Emily Watson is fantastic, Christopher Lee, Richard E. Grant.
So, okay.
It's pretty insane cast.
If you look at protagonist-wise, foregoing all the other ones, I mean, I guess he was a kid though, but the victor in Frankenweenie is Charlie Tahan. I don't know who he is. The victor in, although it looks like he's been in a lot of stuff. Of course, victor in Corpse Bride is Johnny Depp. So we could go that route.
Yeah.
I'm
going Frankenweenie.
All right, let's do it.
Who are you picking?
Yeah, I agree. I'll go Frankenweenie.
All right. Barely. This is barely.
Yeah.
By the dead skin on this dog's back. That pizza-looking patch that was on there. All right. Frankenweenie begrudgingly gets the point. I'm begrudgingly giving Frankenweenie this point. Boom. All right. Okay, how about acting? Which movie is better acting? I mean, that's difficult to pick too. It's two super wildly talented casts. We got some scenes, so let's run those and see.
Yes.
That wasn't in either movie.
Yeah, that was from Frankenweenie.
Do forgive me.
You play beautifully.
I do apologize, Miss Everglant. How rude of me to... Well, excuse me.
Mother won't let me near the piano. Music is improper for a young lady. Too passionate, she says.
And I saw that part, and I'm like, this is just like a sweet, really well acted exchange before the parents come in. I was like, I just wanted to hear them talk and have conversations for a long time. And maybe it's the part of me that likes movies like Pride and Prejudice and stuff where I'm like, okay, I just want to hear them talk and get to know each other. But all of a sudden the mother's like, what are you doing in here without a chaperone? And I thought it was great acting for just a little dumb part of him playing piano. So,
I agree.
But
go ahead.
There's also parts of Frankenweenie where it's a little bit more like a Nick at Night, My Three Sons era of 50s sitcom almost kind of a vibe.
Yeah.
And they do a great job with that. And Martin Short does a great job, like the dad, and just the whole vibe. Everything was really well done. So I don't know. I think, just because you give somebody a British accent, does that mean that they're a better actor? They're doing a better job? Like, hello, it's nice to meet you. That was terrible. But anyway,
Well,
but you know what I'm saying?
You know, it's you know, it's stop motion animation. They're voice actors, so we can't tell how much weight they lost for the role either. So we can't judge them on their acting.
Yeah,
you know?
dude, he lost like 40 pounds. Like, he was a great actor. Yeah.
So I'll say I put that one in there because it was the only actual acting we had in the movie that wasn't, you know, just voice acting. But yeah, that was Chris. That was from the movie. Remember when they're watching the mom and dad are watching that? That's the movie they're watching on TV, which I'll talk about in a little bit.
So everybody's saying Frankenweenie.
Well, I was gonna say if I was gonna fight for it, I would say the Martin Landau. I'm sorry, Martin Landau as the science teacher was just knocked it out of the park for me.
He really was. He was phenomenal. Well, the people who, why are you laughing?
Mel got me.
Oh,
He sounded too fat.
yeah, I think the people have spoken. So yeah, it's hard. It's a hard one. I think the dog deserved the award. So we'll go ahead and give that one to Frankenweenie. I definitely liked Frankenweenie better than the Corpse Bride. I know that, but we're talking about acting. Which one has better acting? All right, how about which one had the best characters?
To me, this one's an easy one. Frankenweenie had so many characters.
Yeah.
And so many good characters.
Interesting character. I'll pick Frankenweenie too. Let's just get that over with. Yeah. Frankenweenie wins on that one. They were good. You know what though? Like Corpse Bride, it's like, hey, there's a bunch of characters there. Nobody really stuck out, and it was like it almost seemed like a generic Tim Burton movie. Like Tim Burton had his assistant go ahead and do that for him because he was like he was
busy. Right.
You know what I mean?
Because, and yeah, whenever I was watching Frankenweenie, and I said the runtime is only an hour and 15 minutes, and I'm sorry, not Frankenweenie, Corpse Bride, but I think that's the one he did whenever he was doing Willy or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory at the same time, and it's like he didn't devote his full time to it because I think there was more character development to be had there, and it just didn't kind of happen. You know, he got the dance sequences in there and stuff like that, which I enjoyed. Some people didn't, but I enjoyed it. But it's like it seemed like there could have been more of a story there to make you care a little more about these people, and it just, you know, wasn't there because of the runtime. I mean, an hour and 15 minutes, like even for a kids movie, that's short.
Yeah, it seems like, to me, like I said, it seems like, hey, I've got an obligation to get this done by this date. So can you know what my movies look like? You've been with me for years. Can you just finish this for me while I work on this other project? Like, and I'll be over to just oversee to check on it. I'll just check in with you once a week, and the rest of the time I'm going to be working on this other stuff. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Just go ahead and put my name on it.
You got a bunch of pale white people in there, really, 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 really skinny pale white people. Okay, we're great. We're good to go.
And it's all people I've worked with. I trust them. They know what they're doing. Yeah. Okay. Dog wins. Frankenweenie for characters. Yeah. Did I give the point yet? Did I?
Let's see. We've done cast, actors, and this is the third one. Characters.
So let's look at the points. We all have it. So, all right. Was there anything? Movie had a character that you hated so much that it nearly ruined the movie. Did you have anything like that on this one?
Not really. I mean, some of the characters I hated in Corpse Bride, you know, like, you know, the parents, her parents, and stuff like that. But it wasn't, they were made to be,
Yeah.
designed to be like that, and it wasn't enough to. I don't think so.
Yeah,
I
we'll
think we
skip.
got it
We'll,
right.
we'll skip that one. Let's see here. All right, which one was the best story?
So Corpse Bride is apparently based on an old Russian fairy tale or something like that. And again, I could see it being better.
I think if it was executed better,
Mhm.
it would be a better story. You could make a really great story out of that. I think Frankenweenie, that's clearly a takeoff of Frankenstein, and I'm gonna go with Corpse Bride. I think Corpse Bride is a more compelling story. Frankenweenie is like a story that's taken off of another story that is basically an entertain. It's more. I was entertained by it, but I think a better story. I think executed properly, the other one would be a better story. Kid reanimating his dog, and then the other kids stealing his secrets and reanimating their animals and having a big showdown at the end, and the dog saving the day and then coming back. I mean, it's a good story too. But
yeah, I was about to say that sounds like
pretty good.
And
now,
and I'd say, go ahead.
The other is two people that are being forced to marry that end up, that are even told you're not supposed to like or love each other, but then they meet each other and it's love at first sight. Then they're separated, and one of them accidentally marries someone from the spirit world and is stuck there, and then is trying to get back to their love back in the real world. And then but is obligated to, or is tricked into thinking that other one moved on, and so goes ahead and says, okay, I'll stick with this one. But then the ghost sees that they belong together and pushes them back that way and says, you know what, I don't want this. I think that's a more romantic and just more compelling. It's a more compelling story. And then the other ghost is free because it was murdered and
by the guy who's about to marry his
So
ex-fiance.
For me, I don't think this execution of the movie was as good as it could have been, and I think that the story is better. And that's a preference thing. That doesn't mean, it's just a preference. I like that compelling story. Also of fighting death and the living and coming out of the spirit world and all that to get back to your true love, I think is a cool thing. I think the original story of Frankenstein, I think maybe I would have a different argument. Because that is somebody that was, some mad scientist reanimated a bunch of corpses as a science experiment, and then that's complete, and that thing's a monster, and that's a regular Frankenstein. I might have to pick Frankenstein over the Corpse Bride, but we're talking about Frankenweenie. This is a borrowed story for Frankenweenie that isn't even the original Frankenstein story. It's a different thing. So.
I mean, you kind of got me. You kind of me pulling me over, but like to think too, like whenever you watch the original short, and see just the idea he had then and what he built it into. No, you know what? Here, I'll say this: the Russian fairy tale or folklore tale has been around for hundreds of years. Frankenweenie's been around for 10 to, well, maybe 30 if you go back to the original short. We know that the Russian fairy tale story has stood the test of time, so we'll give it that. I don't think that Frankenweenie will be around for hundreds of years. Maybe, hopefully, but
there'll probably be other spoofs of Frankenstein. Frankenstein will be around forever.
Frankenstein will, yes.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's different if we were comparing Frankenstein with this legend, but we're not. We're doing a spoof of a classic,
Mhm.
you know. So for me, I'm gonna
Fair
go with the Corpse Bride.
Okay, I agree. You won me.
Again, I'm also can be a romantic, you know, as far as like I like the idea of trying to fight. I think that's what annoyed me with this movie is that they didn't fight very hard. Like, you know what I mean? In this movie,
Yeah.
they didn't fight very hard. And I'm like, I don't think the story was told very well. But okay.
I haven't seen Depraved. And yes, Young Frankenstein is absolutely spoof, and that's probably the best spoof on Frankenstein.
I grew up on these stories. Really screwed up my psyche.
The folklore stories.
The Frankenstein or the Russian. All right. Plus, Frankoweenie's dominating, so they can afford to lose one.
Indeed.
All right. And Bobbi, are you from Mother Russia? All right. Are you from there? Or of Russian descent? Did you grow up with this that tale? That's cool.
It's almost like because you think about it too, and it's almost like again, like if they would have fought more, like a Romeo and Juliet, except going into the land of the dead, like
Yeah.
almost even cooler. I'd like to actually read the original story now.
What are they called? What is that band?
The Beatles.
No.
The Monkeys.
Nope. It's I'm just having a brain fart. I can't see. Avenged Sevenfold. Do you remember them?
Mm-hmm.
They have a song about something similar to that, where somebody like I don't remember. I think guy kills his girlfriend or something, and then she comes back from the dead to come get him, and it's like a really cool video. I think there's even it's like claymation or something. It's pretty cool.
Did they talk about Baba Yaga, Bobby? In your stories?
Baba Yaga? Uh-oh.
I think that's the Russian like boogeyman. But
it's for
the witch.
It's John Wick, dude.
Oh yeah.
That's what they call John Wick. So we got best story. We got the point on that. So how about the musical score? No doubt. My last name was Maslowski. People from Lithuanian, and oh, cool. And
okay. Yeah, I got.
Cool. I grew up with
European stuff.
Mexican folklore, like the Cucuy and La Llorona.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fun to hear other folklore. Let's see here. So music. What did Danny Elfman do? Both? He usually does.
Danny Elfman did both. He did. I'm going to give this one to Corpse Bride as well, although I preferred the score in Frankenweenie because it was more unique. Danny Elfman, instead of the bum 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 bum,
Yeah.
like every movie that he does very well, but it's every movie. It was different. So the score I preferred. However, I did enjoy the music. I thought it was zip zap zabap in Corpse Bride. So I'm gonna go with that.
So you're going to Corpse Bride. All right.
I am.
I'll go with either way on that. So I'll give it to Corpse Bride. All right.
Yeah, I love any kind of folklore and mythology. That's my jam.
That is my jam too.
And Bobby agrees with us. Corpse Bride for coming back, baby.
Oh, making a comeback. All right. Let's see here. Which one was a prettier looking movie? I'm going to go with Frankenweenie on this. There was something that's for my taste. There was something about, I don't know if because it was black and white or whatever, but I just looked at the screen a lot of times where I was like, man, this movie's beautiful. And I see that with like real black and white shows, like old TV shows and certain things where it has just a certain look. I don't know the filters they used, what they did, but the other one looked just kind of like a generic movie to me, a generic Tim Burton movie of his look. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To where this one, because it was black and white, it just looked really cool. Like, yeah, I noted, I was really in awe a few times.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this movie it's really cool. Anyway, what were you gonna say?
No, I was going to say I agree. I think Corpse Bride looked great. It's I love any kind of stop motion, and the color palette was really good. However, the black and white really made Frankenweenie stand out. Tim Burton said, "If I can't do it in black and white, I'm not going to do it." So that was like on the table from the get go, and I almost pulled it for clips. I really tried to, but each week I try to pull these clips, and what's in my brain doesn't translate. So I have to spend 45 minutes, talking about it anyway. So I was like, well, I'll just talk about it. But they mixed like the TV scene that I had earlier with the stop motion, and then whenever he's bringing Frankenweenie back, the TV in the background with the static is live action TV. The clouds and some of the lightning, whenever that scene is going on, are live action, and and like you were saying, it enhances the stop motion so much because that blend, you're like wondering like, well, what was that, real live action or was that stop motion? Either way, it looks so cool. Like what they do with some of that stuff, when they're just standing around talking, that's great. But like that, there's certain scenes where like they've got so much going on the screen visually, and it's stop motion mixed with digital effects mixed with live action stuff that just like dazzles your eyes. And to me, it's just a gorgeous film, and just like I want to see like how they did that kind of thing. So
I watched a little behind the scenes of I don't remember which one. It was one of those movies. It might have been Frankenweenie, and they were talking about like every frame for frame they had a list, and then they would have like frame 267 or something, and then they would write an initial for like blink, like B, and they're like, okay,
Right.
we got a blink right there, and then they take notes, and they have like weird like really like simply drawn animation for different things that was like how they wanted it to go. Then they'd go fill that in and move the little characters and stuff, and then have to change their eyelids. Like this frame, he's blinking, so they'd put different eyelids on, and then they'd put different eyes with their eyes open and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And then sometimes I think they would use computer animation to move some of the stuff where I think because there was a scene where the science teacher's leaving is packing his trunk up with it and leaving because he got fired. And I was looking at it really carefully, and I don't think they moved. I don't know if they cut some corners on that particular scene or what, but it looked to me like they just had the character, the action figure of the guy or whatever he is there, and then just CGI'd his mouth moving, because I was like, his mouth looks different, and it was the only scene in the whole movie that I noticed something, and I'm like, I like that, and because the movie was beautifully done. And I noticed little things like that in movies all the time. But I was like, I wonder if this was like they added this scene later, and they didn't have time to be messing around with moving his mouth, so they just did a thing with a blank thing and then made his mouth move for the scene. But
for 2012, imagine that. Like I could see him. I bet there's more CG in there than we imagine. But again, they blend it so well. That's how computer graphics works. It's not supposed to be the heavy hitter. Practical's still going to win every time. But when you blend them like that, that's what CG's made for. Like, touch ups and little stuff. And
like when you see it, like when you have the CGI blood spatters and stuff. That's like but if you're tasteful and you do it right, you can really enhance movies. Like really well. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and this movie, yeah, I thought this movie was a masterpiece. I really was impressed with Frankenweenie, which I didn't think. I thought this was just going to I thought this was just kind of like, hey, dude, we're going to make a little extra money by just doing a movie that will get views for Halloween season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let's just crank out a whole bunch, and we got a dozen or so of these stop motion things. They loved Nightmare Before Christmas, so they'll love all these, and they just crank a bunch of them out. But it was fantastic. So,
Yeah. It was. Yeah.
For
If Dub.
did we even get to the
We didn't do the points yet. We've been gushing.
for musical score? Is that what that was for?
We did. No, that was
Oh,
We did
prettier film is what better.
film.
Which one was better looking? I said Frankenweenie. You said Frankenweenie. We need to give him the point.
Yeah, I think
Everyone said Frankenweenie. Sorry, Corpse Bride. Yeah,
But Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say you could. It seems like you could, and especially after realizing that he did that short in 1984, it seems his heart was much more in Frankenweenie. Whereas with Corpse Bride, it was, especially when he was working on another project at the same time, it was like he wanted to do the story. It was a neat idea, but like his heart was in Frankenweenie. Like he's
Yeah.
obviously a dog person, obviously, because every character that he has a dog. So like his heart was really in Frankenweenie when he wanted to do it for a long time, and it just shows very much.
And he also got to do some fun things like Godzilla nod and like
Yeah,
nods to all
oh,
kinds of stuff. So it's that's pretty cool. Let's see here. What were you gonna say?
Just pay homage to whole genres of film, like classic horror and stuff like that. He just knocked it out of the park with that stuff. Yeah.
Well, let's go to the next one, which is who had a better villain? Hey, better villain, Danny Zuko. We got some little clips here. Cat. Yikes.
Boom.
Or
Our young lovers together at last. Surely now they can live happily ever after. But you forget.
She's still my wife! I'll not leave here empty-handed!
Emily,
You!
but I left you.
For dead.
for dead. Yeah. He is a good villain too. Was the cat really the villain?
Yes, the cat was the villain. Yes, the cat. It had the omen that said that something big was going to happen to him. It looks him in the eye whenever he hits the home run that kills Frankenweenie. It lures Frankenweenie out of the attic. Then that's why Frankenweenie gets seen, which is why Edgar forces him to make the invisible fish and tell all the other kids. And then it brings the bat, which it changes into, and becomes the main villain at the end.
I think
That
the kid
cat orchestrated everything.
I think those kids are the villains.
They wouldn't have even known if it wasn't for the cat. The cat orchestrated everything. He did. Watch the movie again. That cat is the villain.
I like the omen of. I even, this is hilarious when you. I even sent my friend this photo. last night. And I know you can never see through the camera, but
There you go.
The Omen. That's The Omen right there. Yep, The Omen. That's a V-shaped turd for anyone out there.
V for Vendetta.
Sorry, Mom. Yeah.
Mel says, cats are assholes, not evil.
Hey, we got James. James in the house.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Yeah, so I guess we're gonna give it to we'll give it to the cat. I mean, I'm always down. The cat's always a bigger villain. That guy was just an average douchebag.
Yeah, but the chat, you in the chat are with Corpse Bride earlier. Like, I mean, they're all going for Bartleby McButchin or whatever his name is.
He was a douche.
I'm just saying, watch it again and watch that cat. That cat is the just. You don't have to agree with me this time. But watch it again. He orchestrated the whole thing.
Yeah, we're gonna side with Mel and Bobby. Bartleby Buttchin.
Yeah, or whatever his name is.
All right, Corpse Bride gets a point. Okay. Now we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Okay, so now that we're out of that, let's get into fights. Who had the best stunts and or fight choreography? With Frankenweenie, we got this. Oh, man.
It's go time.
Yeah, it is go time. Tortzilla. Just killed that thing. Or Corpse Bride, we got.
Do I have to kill you too?
Uh-oh.
Victor! Catch!
Oh. Yep, that was good. Let's see that again. Yeah. Both dazzling and entertaining fight scenes. Who is the winner? Who had the best fight choreography?
I mean, Corpse Bride was actually choreographed. I looked for some other fights you could say when they were wrestling the sea monkeys. You got fight, but that was an actually choreographed fight in stop motion.
Uh-oh. We got Mel saying Corpse Bride for this one. We got Bobby saying Frankenweenie. Yikes. Suck a butt. Stab a butt. Man, I didn't save suck a butt. You could suck my butt clip. I got it somewhere, but I don't have it loaded. Also, if you guys, if nobody was here for it in the beginning, make sure you subscribe. We got it. It's tipping the scales. Frankenweenie is getting another vote from James.
Yeah, because Frankenweenie kind of pulls Indiana Jones in that one, you know. So we might have to give it to Frankenweenie.
I'm with you. I'm
like, yeah, whipping out his swords.
Let's give it to Frankenweenie. It's exactly an Indiana Jones is exactly what that is. I like that. So we'll do a point for Frankenweenie. Frankenweenie jumping back into the or actually he's still in the lead. Staying in the lead. Okay. All right. Now what do we got? So we got fight. Okay, best comeback. Here's a good one. Who had the best comeback? For Frankenweenie, we got Look out, Frankenweenie!
No, oh God.
Oh no. I thought it was the tear that did it.
It was. Remember the science teacher talked to him about it.
You're alive.
Frankenweenie, you're back. Or we got this.
I ask you to be mine.
Uh-oh.
I do.
That's pretty glorious comeback right there.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
Both were great. Holy smokes.
I wonder what an alien species who has conquered death wonders about our. They must be like, why are these people so infatuated with things coming back from the dead? You know, like they're spoiled, you know. They're like. Anyway, I still gotta go Frank. I gotta go Big Frank
Yeah?
on this one because, yeah, I mean, because like it's so. The movie makes it like you said. You thought it was a tear, and you're kind of right because whenever he's talking to the science teacher later, he says, I did it the first time and it worked perfect. His experiment worked perfect. I did it the second time, something went wrong. And he's like, did you have the same heart in it? He's like, you do science with your brain, but you also do it with your heart. And he was like, no, I just wanted it to be over the second time. And like that's the thing. It did work because of the tear. He had his heart in his work.
Yeah, the Corpse Bride was more like a obsessive crazy person.
Stalker girlfriend.
Stalker girl. Yeah, I was trying to how to say that nicely. Where it's like, yes, I will be your bride. Here I am, and it's not based on true love. How about that?
And she didn't even have big old birthing hips, so like
yeah, but she did dim some big. Got a comment there
that you got
for a dead lady. I noticed.
Yeah.
Come back.
Fair enough, Mel.
Frankenweenie. And Bobby says Corpse Bride stayed dead, so it's not really a comeback. A comeback for yep. So we'll give it to Frankenweenie. Getting points again. Good point for Frankenweenie. So there. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was. And then good point.
Good
I
point.
didn't think about that. Riley says Frankenweenie best comeback. It was sad to watch him die twice, but he came back twice too.
Oh, there's a double comeback. Even better. All right. How about best log workout? No, we're not doing that one. We'll save that one for Rocky 4, Rocky 5. How about let's do WTF moment. Who has the most WTF moment? Frankenweenie.
Hello, Victor. Hi. Mr. Whiskers had a dream about you last night. How do you know? Because this morning he made this. Did you get that out of the litter box?
That's a log workout.
Dude, when that happened, I was like, dude, I love this movie. When that happened, just the way she's talking. Hello, Victor. We're going to watch this again. I want to see this clip twice.
Hello, Victor. Hi. Mr. Whiskers had a dream about you last night. How do you know?
It's like, is this Kristen Wiig?
This morning.
Watch his face. Watch. Oh God.
There's hair on it. What? There's hair. What the hell? And dude, I would swear that was Kristen Wiig. That's like a psycho character she would play. Hello, Victor.
It does.
Yeah. Okay.
That's Kevin McAllister's mom.
Man,
that's who that is.
She nailed it. All right, and then we got the Corpse Bride.
Stop saying that!
Oh, that is the wrong freaking clip. Hold on. How did I do that?
I want to see the cut where that's in there, and then everybody will agree that is the most WTF moment.
There we go.
I'll do it.
My boy, if you choose this path, you may never return to the world above.
I do.
I was like, what the F on that scene? He's supposed to love the other one. They made a big deal out of love at first sight, and then all of a sudden he's down there and he's like, oh, okay, I'll just do it. And I'm like, no, that's effing weak. Like, no, he should be fighting to get back to his true love, but he's not. And so I was like, what the F? They're part of the reason I didn't appreciate this movie. It basically ruined the movie. I was like, this guy sucks.
Yeah,
this guy's weak and he has no friends.
He really doesn't.
Yeah.
He's like, not only will I give up on true love, I guess I'll just go ahead and die too and live with my stalker girlfriend forever.
Yeah, Stockholm Syndrome.
You know what? You know what?
So I'm not gonna discount how WTF I thought that was. I was like, this basically ruined the movie almost for me. That it basically changed my. If he would have been fighting to get back to the bride the whole movie, it would have been more, you'd be rooting for him. But instead, he's just kind of wavering, and I'm like, I don't really care. Like I liked the bride. The bride was like charismatic, and I liked her. But I was like, I didn't care. I was not invested in this guy because he needs to care himself if I'm going to care with him. You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah, and like Bobby's right. He did it because she was marrying Barbie Buttchin, but like he could have, like Mel said earlier, like gone back into the world of the living and like shown off his new stacked like corpse girlfriend and been like, yeah, check this out, to make her jealous a little bit,
Well, he was quick. He was quick to deceive his corpse girlfriend and get back to her, and he did it once. Like, why didn't he? As soon as he heard she was about to marry somebody else, why didn't he go back and say, "Yo, don't do that! Stop!" You know what I mean? Like.
Well, Tony Danza would have done that.
Hey, Samantha!
Like, hey, yo!
Angela!
Samantha!
Jonathan! Yeah, so...
Alyssa Milano!
Bobby, and only 3 people are watching this matchup. I'm insulted. Are you? No, I'm we'll get it on the replay. It's 9:49, man. We're not worried about it. Let's see here. So as far as WTF moments go,
when I saw that again, I haven't sat down and watched Frankenweenie the whole time I've owned it, and I was sitting down, and that's a very early scene, and I was like, what the hell is this? And I was thinking, oh, this is gonna be rough, but because it's so, that's what I mean. Like, Tim Burton can go so weird. Like, I was thinking it was going to be one of those and ruin it for me, but he pulled it back in, it just makes this perfect mix. Like, I was almost going to be like, oh God, what's happening here? So for me, that cat turd scene really got me, and then that's only the beginning of the cat turd scene. It goes on for a good 3 to 4 minutes of cat turds.
Yeah, I think that one wins for the. I think that would have to win for the WTF moment.
Yeah, uniqueness bare minimum.
All right. So points, we're going to give that to Frankenweenie.
Frankenweenie knows how to party.
All right.
Spuds McWeenie.
Spuds McWeenie. All right. Yes, sir. All right.
Mm-hmm.
What are we talking about down here? There's nobody watching. Lack of advertising. Dude, we get the replays. I'm not worried about this here.
Yeah, we're with our Friday fan. We're fine.
Yeah. Let's see here. WTF moment. Best quote. Who had the best line or the most quotable line?
Trying, you
It is okay to fail as long as you keep trying.
Yes, but that was different because we couldn't. It's easy to promise the impossible.
Do you suppose your father and I like each other?
Surely you must. A little.
Of course not.
Of course not. I don't have any kids. I don't have any kids, but if I did, I would definitely bust that one out. Do you and mom like each other? Of course not. And then you laugh it off.
Well, that's I picked two of those because I was going to go with the Martin Short one just because it's great. Because if you did have kids, you would know it's easy to promise the impossible. My daughter asked if we could get a rainbow unicorn the other day, and I was like, if we ever see a rainbow unicorn, I promise we will get it. And she's like, yes. But I also put the other one there, and because I am, as much as I'm a Star Wars fan, I am not in Yoda's camp. There is try. Trying is one of the most important things. Do or do not, that's secondary. Like
that's right. Let's see here. So who gets the point on that one?
I don't know. That is a very good line, though.
Which one?
Kind of reinforces. From Corpse Bride, it reinforces how they're just not worried about that she likes. That's how they've grown up. That's how it is, and they're not. That it reinforces why they're not like, oh well, our daughter doesn't love this guy. What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
they're just like, that's what. It's irrelevant. What are you even talking about?
Let's see here. I'm going with Corpse Bride on that one.
I agree. I think. Well, I think I'll go with you on that because I think like I said, it reinforces the story more. The other ones, they're not throwaway lines. They're important lines. They're good lines, but it's not. You could pull them out of the movie and it wouldn't necessarily have an impact. Where, like I said, that reinforces the characters and shows very much of their motivation. So it's more important line, we'll say.
All right. And I feel like as far as quotable goes, you know what I mean? Like, do you and Clint get along? Of course not. Yeah, you know what I mean? I feel like that's a more quotable line. All right. Let's see. What do we got here? Oh, WTF moment. Best quote. We didn't have a car chase. How about inspirational? Who had the most inspirational part? Frankenweenie.
Ladies, gentlemen, I think the confusion here is that you are all very ignorant. Is that the right word, ignorant? I mean stupid, primitive, unenlightened. You do not understand science, so you are afraid of it. Like a dog is afraid of thunder or balloons. To you, science is magic and witchcraft because you have such small minds. I cannot make your heads bigger, but your children's heads. I can take them and crack them open. This is what I try to do, to get at their brains. Your country does not make enough scientists, always needs more.
Oh, and then we have Corpse Bride.
You kept your promise. You set me free.
There we go. So inspirational. As a science teacher, how inspirational was that part? You're a science teacher.
Well, a math teacher, but
Math.
have a math degree because of science. So that was, and maybe that's why the movie never hit as hard before. I just watched it in and out before, but I was watching that and I was like, this is just as a teacher in general, because basically society's decided to go crazy, and they're saying you can't teach anything, you can't talk to your students about anything. The whole point, like the whole thing about teaching is building relationships with kids, and it's like, well, you can't talk about that or you might get fired. You can't talk about that, you might get fired. And he's just saying, like, you have these young minds and you want to like expand them, you want to build upon them, you don't want to shut them down. Like, let them read whatever and make their own decisions. Let them, like, talk about this stuff and make their own decisions. I'm not saying you should indoctrinate kids or anything like that. That's, of course not. Or you can fail them because they disagree with you, some shit like that. But like he's saying, like, especially with science, like, prove it to me. We can prove it to you. It's right here in front of your face. And just, I don't know, like, and it was just very inspirational. And of course he gets fired, so like, again, like, but like, that's the thing. It's like, oh, dangerous ideas, it's like, well, you're not really afraid of the ideas. You're afraid of your own brain. Like, it's kind of simple there. But I loved that part of the movie, which I'd never noticed. And it was just super inspirational to me.
And me, I have a long history of customer service and dealing with the public. And there's many times that I would love to tell the general public that they are stupid. As a whole, everybody's got their, everybody thinks they know everything, me included, and most people don't know what the hell they're talking about, or people get, even YouTube, social media, people get opinions about things, and then like, I have a voice. So everybody likes to get on, and whether it's posting a YouTube video like this or commenting on somebody else's post who's also saying something stupid, and like, everyone thinks I have a voice and I'm important. And so all of a sudden, the entire world has a voice, and most people are just stupid. And so, not all the time, just sometimes most people are stupid. And so for me to hear somebody telling a whole room full of everyday Joes that they're dumb is like, it's really hilarious to me. Especially in like work scenarios where the customer's always right. That's where you really want to tell people they're stupid. You know what I mean? So this guy is at his job, and telling people that he's not supposed to tell that they're dumb. And the funny part of that is that part of it is a language barrier where he's trying to, how do I say this? And his limited grasp on the English language is making him tell people that they're morons. It's great. I love it. Yeah. That's very inspirational to me. So I'm picking Frankenweenie also.
Yeah.
Exactly. The customer is almost never right. Absolutely.
It's just so good. It's so good. And what's amazing too is, like, with social media, like you were saying nowadays. So, my other degree is in sociology, and like, it's amazing how you can get a room full of Einsteins, smartest people in the world, but individually, but as a group, they will make stupid decisions. It's like, it's this part of human nature. This group, we're still animals, and we have this group mentality and stuff, and they make bad decisions. When you make, or not even, well, not necessarily bad, but like group decisions, even if it's against their own interests. And then when you get something like social media, it just amplifies this so much more. Like, it's just making that little part of, human culture so much more important. And it's going to be interesting to see where this leads us.
It's really weird because people try to be like democratic about things, where everyone gets a voice and gets to vote on something, or you know what I mean, or let everybody be heard. But there's certain things that not everybody specializes in, so maybe they don't need to be heard on that. You know what I mean? Maybe maybe if we're talking about math, the last person who needs to be talking about math and how something math wise, I'm the last. I don't know. We could go on, but it's just funny. Like, I keep,
to your point. If my pipes are messed up, I'm not going to go ask my mailman what he thinks about the issue. You know, like that's not how it works.
Yeah.
I'm going to get several plumbing quotes. You know, and maybe my neighbor who's done a lot of plumbing work.
I know
but I'm not
about plumbing. I know about.
Why aren't you asking me about your pipe? Like,
Yeah, I think that analogy like translates across everything, but yeah, it's pretty funny. But yeah, we're in a weird time where everyone has a voice, and I think I don't know.
Well, we haven't figured out. Here's the thing: we haven't figured out that everyone should have a voice, but that doesn't mean we have to listen to it.
Yes.
You know, like that's what I mean. We haven't figured. Social media is new. We haven't figured out how to just be like, oh, let's turn this one off right quick.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm real curious, like what's going to happen in like 20 years from now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What it's going to be like. But we're fresh out of the gate. Everyone has a voice now, so everybody's being loud, and I think we're all going to get numb to it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like, oh, you have a podcast? Yeah, you and everyone else. Oh, you have a this? Oh, yeah. Oh, you're complaining about this? Oh, that's just a Yelp complaint. Nobody cares. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like before you know it, businesses aren't going to care about Yelp complaints because those are just crazy people that are you know want attention or looking for a discount or something. It's super weird.
Well, and yeah, in 50 years, there's going to be like some telepathy chip anyway. So they're going to be like, y'all are so stupid with social media. Like, why didn't y'all just, you know? Like...
Yeah. I don't know how we got on that rant, but I will say it did feel good and inspirational to hear that teacher let the public know that they are not, that they're dumb. All right, moving forward.
Yeah.
Let's
give the point.
Yeah. Did I give him the point? Did we?
No.
Oh.
All right. Well,
we're gonna give him. We're gonna give him the point anyway because Corpse Bride's gonna win this whole show anyway. I'm telling you right now. I'm calling it.
And Bobby makes a good point. That's why they made duct tape.
That's right. Best kiss. I don't think we had a kiss.
Oh. Damn it! I missed my. It's in there, but it's. I should have.
Yeah. Best kiss. There was. Did they kiss the bride in the Corpse Bride? I don't remember. And I'm sure there was.
But I remember Frankenweenie's kiss for sure, and I've got it in there.
Frankenweenie must have licked his owner in the face. Oh no, it was the two dogs. The two dogs. That's what it was.
They even ended it that way. Yeah. So I have that clip. I just didn't think of putting it in for best kiss. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that gets the point. Frankenweenie. Yeah, the best kiss, and then the other dog ended up with the
bride. Yeah, the bride of Frankenstein thing. Yep.
Frankenweenie gets another one. All right.
And it's interesting. So, by the way, I didn't get to him earlier. I forgot. But on IMDb, Frankenweenie has a 6.9 out of 10. Corpse Bride has a 7.3 out of 10. So it's rated higher there. On Rotten Tomatoes, for critics, Frankenweenie has an 87. For critics, Corpse Bride has an 84. So Frankenweenie's a little higher for critics. For audience, though, Frankenweenie has a 70. Audience score for Corpse Bride is a 77. Budget-wise, Frankenweenie is it cost $39 million and it made $81 million. Corpse Bride cost $40 million, made $118 million. So Frankenweenie was about 2.1 times its budget. Corpse Bride was about 2.9, almost 3 times its budget, or made almost 3 times its budget. And I wonder, because Corpse Bride, maybe people just genuinely enjoy it more. Okay, that's a possibility. But I think it was riding off the success of Nightmare Before Christmas, which is a spectacular film. It was the second Tim Burton stop motion, and it had this, power behind it. And then Frankenweenie was the third, riding off the back of Corpse Bride, which after seeing it, like people might have been like, I don't know if I need to see the next one. It was entirely in black and white, which some people just can't deal with. I've known people who are like, I'm like, oh, you need to watch this movie. It's spectacular. And they're like, oh yeah, I'll check it out. And then it's like a classic film, and they're like, well, it's in black and white. And I'm like, yeah, it's an old movie. And they're like, no, I don't watch black and white movies, and I just don't understand it. Don't those always score high? Don't dogs always score higher than? I would think dogs would always score higher than Possessive Girlfriends. But again, like Possessive Girlfriends has the lead for right now on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. But yeah, I just like have you ever known people like this, Clint, that they just will not watch a black and white film? I've known like at least a handful of people, at least probably
Really?
about 5
They're
people.
like, I'm not watching that. It's in black and white.
Yeah, and I'll be like, this is a good movie. Check this out. And they're like, oh, it's black and white. Same thing with subtitles. It's kind of the same idea. Some people just won't watch a subtitle film. But they'll be like, oh, it's black and white. Never mind. I'm not going to watch it. I'm like, well, like what? Huh? I don't understand it. Like, and
I used to be like that about subtitles. I'm just like, dude, why do I need to read? And there's a lot of people that hate dubs, like overdubbed movies, and I'm not one of those people. Like there's a lot of Netflix movies that you can watch all these movies and they have like they're dubbed over, and some people are like, dude, you're gonna watch. Why don't you just read the subtitles on these Hong Kong kung fu movies? And I'm like, dude, I'll just watch the dubbed one. And they're like, that is a disgrace. And I'm like, no, it's not. And I'm like, but until I saw Amelie, I wouldn't watch I didn't want to read subtitles. Have you ever seen Amelie? That's an old movie.
Don't think I have.
It's a fantastic movie. And I saw that, and I came out of that movie. I loved that movie. Amelie was fantastic, and after that, I was like, okay, I'm a fool,
Yeah. Well, and honestly, like I'm not like that. I prefer subtitles now because I watch a lot of foreign films. But honestly, I prefer dubs.
Me too.
But if it's something I'm really into, I'm gonna watch the subtitle because the subtitles are just truer to what they're actually saying.
Yeah.
So but for most things, I'll watch the dub first, and then, like I said, if I really dig it, I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna go back and watch that with subtitles. And usually, I have the dub on while I have the subtitles on too, because like Bobby says, sometimes you gotta be quick and read it real quick. So like, you don't miss the story if you've got the dub on and the sub at the same time. Sometimes, or a lot of times, they're different, but and she also says, my ex-son-in-law was like that with black and white movies until he saw Schindler's List. Yeah, that's not. I mean, Schindler's List.
That was a crazy movie.
But they just won't. I don't understand it. They're just like, no, I'm not gonna watch a black and white movie. Well, we have color now. Why am I gonna do that? I'm not gonna do that. I'm like, okay, I don't.
Yeah, I was like that until I saw The Wizard of Oz. Then I was like, whoa.
Wizard of Oz is
pretty awesome.
Probably the greatest movie ever. Probably.
It's pretty awesome. Well, how about what else we got? Which one's a better cheer up movie? It's easy.
Yeah. I want to see the rich entitled kid, successfully dump his corpse horrific girlfriend.
What do you think is a better cheer up movie?
No, it's Frankenweenie. Frankenweenie's
all day long.
I was just so happy and jolly and cheery watching that movie. It was just so good.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised at that movie. Let's see here. How about a better date movie? We got some clips on this one for Frankenweenie. There's the best kiss right there. Oh.
Yep.
The flies. Of course, that's excellent. And then we got
What impropriety is this? You shouldn't be alone together.
I hope I hope your mom doesn't say that to us later. When you're on the date. Yeah. What? Why are you laughing?
No, I'm just thinking of the clip. The mom says that, and then like you're holding the leftover popcorn, and the mom's like, "And why is there a hole in the bottom of this popcorn
exactly.
thing?"
You shouldn't be alone without a chaperone. I don't know. It just turned into Monty Python. I saw Warm Bodies with a friend, and he thought it was me asking him out.
Yeah, that's a lot of guys though, Mel. Like, I believe you, and yeah, guys just.
I hope the hole in
the
the popcorn thing didn't happen. Let's see.
no. No,
You better be sure. You better be sure.
Yeah, that's
But
yeah, that happens a lot. Guys are, take any signal as, "Oh, she likes me."
How about which one of these movies is a better Christmas movie? Clearly, these are Halloween movies, but I definitely am going to go Frankenweenie on this. That's just a fun movie.
Yeah, I'll watch that anytime. Yep.
Yep.
It's a Halloween feel, but it's definitely an anytime movie. Like it's.
I think the gang would agree.
Oh, I didn't know that Warm Bodies was a Romeo and Juliet story either. I haven't seen it yet. Oh, so he had a double expectation.
Bless you. Bless you. How about which movie makes you want to take karate lessons? Which movie makes you want to take karate lessons? Maybe The Corpse Bride?
Yeah, Corpse Bride. I mean,
that fight scene was you're not fighting Godzilla, you're fighting old Chin, Big Chin.
Yeah, and he could have done a flip and then stabbed him in the butt.
Plus, we're running out of room for skulls on Frankenweenie, so we gotta even it out a little bit. It's like
there's gonna be some Corpse Bride fan that's just gonna hate all over us. Yeah, that's right.
McButtchin. That's a good comment. Putting that up. Yeah, got a roundhouse kick. Bartley McButtchin, karate. Butt chin. That's the karate dash chin butt. Let's see here. All right. Which movie made you hungrier? I think when they showed that cat turd, everyone in the theater was hungry.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a cat owner like myself, having that much cat hair in your food is kind of par for the course anyway. So, but if you're a dog owner, the dog would have eaten that cat turd. So I don't know. Yeah. My dog just rummages through the cat box like there's a bunch of chicken nuggets hidden in there.
So which movie makes you hungrier? Corpse Bride? I'm saying Corpse Bride because I'm with you, Bobby. I'm not gonna. For one, the hairy cat turd is gross, but but the when they showed the stitches up close on Sparky's neck, that kind of grossed me out a little bit. I was like, ugh, it looks like pig skin. It's just disgusting.
Bugs crawling out of it,
and flies on him. It was grosser. We're giving that point. That's
Eat
going
at
to
his
the corpse.
house.
Yeah, it's going to Corpse Bride.
Yeah, Victor's telling his mom, "I keep inviting my friends over for dinner, but nobody ever comes, Mom. I don't know."
All right, and then let's see here. Which movie had a better explosion? All right, we got some clips on that, of course. That was fantastic. And then
This hand, I will.
oh man, I don't know which one was better. Or
This hand, I will.
oh shit, that was fucking funny. All right. And they're both
I want to
good.
go. I gotta go Corpse Bride on that one.
You didn't expect that.
No, I was wondering how you're gonna fit that one in, and that was spectacular.
I got you. Oh boy, I'm going Corpse Bride on that one too. Bobby says. Mel says, "Oops, sorry, Victoria." Yep.
Hats off, sir. Hats off. Spectacular.
One more time, just for.
This hand, I will.
Oh yeah, good times. All right, points. Where's the point screen? Here we go. Good old Corpse Bride making a comeback.
Yeah. Ain't falling for no banana in the tailpipe.
All right, look at that point.
Ooh, there we go.
All right, what do we got here? Okay, and then we have how about best death or kill? Mel is cracking up. All right. Also, guys, if you didn't remember, make sure you subscribe. Yep. Best death or kill. What were you saying?
I want to suck that butt.
Okay. Wish I had that clip. Wish I had that clip. Okay. Frankenweenie death.
It's working! It's working!
Uh-oh. Man. I loved those real plastic bottles getting tossed. That looks cool. The effects in this movie were so fantastic. All right. Oh, crap. I don't know if this is... Let's see.
Not anymore.
That was another death. Which one was the best death?
Yeah. Now, in real life, the fat kid from Sandlot up there on the roof would actually be dead, but in the movie, he did not die. So I got to give this one to Corpse Bride.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And he did. So Corpse Bride gets a point. Poor Corpse Bride.
Didn't that kid look like the kid from Sandlot?
He sure did.
Like he's straight up like that's the kid from Sandlot.
All right. Boom. Making the comeback. Boom. Good old Corpse Bride making that comeback. How about Oh, we're skipping that one. Nope. How about which one had the best ending? We had Frankenweenie's ending.
Stay back. It's too dangerous.
That's my son in there.
Victor.
Honey, are you all right?
Yeah.
There's the villain of the film.
You said that I need to let him go.
Sometimes adults don't know what they're talking about. Start your engines!
Best
Yeah, that's a pretty good ending, man. That's a pretty good ending. I'm gonna have to go with I haven't even shown the other one yet. How about the ending for She's Free? She's free.
That's nice. I'm glad they set her free.
Yeah, and you know what? He was never hers to begin with, and she was basically
She wants to break free.
she basically took him hostage. She tricked him and took him hostage. He was a victim in this movie. It's crazy. So I'm going Frankenweenie on this one. Just like everyone else. It's touching when you have the whole community trying to jumpstart a dog. Nothing brings tears to my eyes. Like,
yeah. Let's bring back your zombified, rotting dog just to make this kid happy. Well, and here's the thing, too. Like, at that point, like, just being a parent now, like, like whenever he's like, that's my... Oh, God. Oh, my God! Stop!
You were saying...
Whenever he's like, that's my son in there, it's like two things. Like, if my son's in a fire, you're not going to stop me. You're going to have to knock me out. Like, you're going to have to, like, I'm going in there.
Even if it's dangerous, you're going to Kool-Aid man through the wall and get your son.
Hey, if you're, if like, I'm not saying, like, if you firemen or you other townsfolk, you don't want to go, like, that's fine. I'm not telling you to, but I'm going in there. And at the same time, if I'm the other guy, even if it's a cop or something, be like, if somebody says, that's my son in there, I'm like, okay, bud. Like,
go get him.
Like,
yeah.
Because I'd go too. Like, just like, and yeah, it just, and then, but it shows like all these humans wouldn't do it. But even if Frankenweenie wasn't a zombie, like he still would have, drugged that kid out. Like, yeah, just a great.
Yeah,
I cut a lot out of the cat's other villainous deeds. The cat took the dog or took the girl to the windmill and to set up that like that cat, boy, rewatch it. That cat's the villain.
Is the cat the villain?
I'm not. It is. I'm not a cat hater either. I have a cat. I love my cat, but that cat.
Well, how about best love story? Which one of these movies was the better love story? Both were love stories. One was the guy who loves his dog. The other one was actually Frankenweenie wins because he didn't love that girl very much. He didn't fight for her at all.
He knew her half a day.
Yeah,
and then and then he didn't love the corpse bride. Yeah.
In fact, I wish it was which one was a worse love story, so I could really just stick my thumb in their eye. So yeah, Frankenweenie wins.
Yeah. I mean, anybody that's ever had not even a dog but a pet like knows the love that you have there.
Yeah.
And just yeah, and he's like, "Oh, I played the piano for you a little bit. I'm in love with you forever. Oh, wait, maybe I'm not. Oh,
Love
wait,
it.
actually. Oh my god. Oh no.
Ah!
Stop it.
Ah! Hold on a sec. Okay.
After how many years of doing this do you think it's gonna take
Get old?
for me to figure out which way to turn?
It's gonna take a little while. Shit. There we go. All right. Sorry about that, gang. Having weird technical problems.
Ethan. Come on, man. Quit messing with our
Yeah,
shit.
What the hell? So the winner on that one was
F-Dub.
Yeah, F-Dub. Did I give the point? Did I give the best love story?
No.
I did not give the point. There we go.
And look at this guy.
So many points.
Corpse Bride's, keeping it,
holding on there pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a deep impact situation over here, but it amazes me. Like I wonder with the IMDb scores and like the audience ratings for Rotten Tomatoes, I wonder if people are just like me and haven't given it a real watch. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Frankenweenie?
Yeah. Like
Well,
before this, because I had seen it before. I had seen it several times before, but again, it was in and out. And if you'd asked me, I'd be like, yeah, the movie's fine. Like, but actually sitting down and watching it, like, I was like, it's just a really good movie. Thank you, Mel and Bobbi. Honestly, thank you, Mel and Bobbi. I was like, all right, I'll watch these movies, but like sitting down and actually watching them as films, like that. I thank you so much, ladies. Like this was killer. That's a damn good movie.
Yeah, it feels like it's just going to be. This is just it's just like when they make all these Christmas movies. They're just kind of filler movies for this season or whatever, and it kind of feels like, oh, that's kind of what this is going to be. And you watch it, and I'm like, wow, this is a masterpiece. This is a great movie. It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I get anybody who's like, people need to rewatch it, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's one of the fun things about doing this show is there's a lot of movies that I love, and then there's a lot of movies that Curtis will tell me to watch. Some of them, I already love them. Some of them, I'm like, oh God, I don't want to watch that stinking movie. and then I turn around and watch it. I'm like, oh, no wonder Curtis loves this. Now I love this movie. And it's like we all kind of have these boundaries that we put on ourselves, and just out of obligation, sometimes you have to watch something. And Frankenweenie, I probably never would have gotten around, unless I had kids. I probably never would have gotten around to watching Frankenweenie. And now I'm kind of curious of what other Tim Burton movies that I haven't seen that I've dismissed might be great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
but that's what I mean. I have kids, and I got it for them, and like I said, I've seen it, but never sat down and watched it. I put it on for the kids and kind of watch a few parts here and there. But like sitting down and like absorbing it as a film, like it's just different. Like, I don't know, because a lot of times people are like, yeah, I've seen that movie, it's fine, but I don't know.
It has the smart, quirky, kind of gross sense of humor and feel that Beetlejuice has. It's the only one that I've seen that's given me those feelings that Beetlejuice gives you. Because there's something about Beetlejuice is almost a little pervy, you know what I mean? Hey, he's a little bit pervy. It's like a weird quirky where you're like skating. I mean, giving you cat turds with hair in them. Come on, dude. It's like it's skating this weird, gross thing along with the spooky, morbid thing's one thing, but when you get into the quirky, gross humor mixed in, it's just a whole nother vibe, and it makes it fun. That's the whole new fun element. I didn't have fun in Corpse Bride. It wasn't fun like that.
Yeah.
It It wasn't fun. That's what was wrong with that movie. It wasn't fun, and I didn't get enough out of the musical numbers to have fun. Maybe there's some people that like musicals that had fun from that, but I just was like, oh, okay, it's a morbid movie, and it's all right. It was good. It wouldn't.
Yeah.
It just the other one's fun. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I'll watch Frankenweenie again. Like it was fun.
I think I'm gonna watch it again with the kids because I watched it by myself and they kind of, came in and out for a couple scenes, and they were stuck. Actually, they rewatched it the next morning before school because they didn't see the ending. They kind of came in towards the middle. They were watching something else, and I was watching it. And then the next morning before school, they were like, "Can we watch the end of Frankenweenie?" I was like, "Yeah, okay." Like,
and you're going to be like, hey, you know what she's holding, right? When she's got,
yeah,
you know what that is, right?
And they'd be like, "Our dog would eat that so quick."
Gross. Gross. All right. How about which one of these deserves a sequel? Frankenweenie 2?
Totes.
Or
Son of Frankenweenie.
Or The Bride of Frankenweenie.
Yeah, there you go. That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Easily. Yeah, Frankenweenie could easily be. I mean, as long as he did it well, all that, good stuff. But I mean, yeah, I could see. I don't care what happens to Victor and Victoria.
Yeah, but I kind of, you want the psycho corpse bride to come back and come back and accidentally latch on to Beetlejuice.
Yeah, that'd be totally cool.
Hey,
yeah,
don't say the B word.
Bartleby.
I've seen The Exorcist 167 times and keeps getting funnier every single time I see it. I'm going Frankenweenie, dude. Bride of Frankenweenie coming this Christmas.
Yep. Hells yeah, that'd be amazing. Bride of Frankenweenie.
The Bride of Frankenweenie. She's butterflies. She's everywhere. You're right. She's free. Yeah, she doesn't have to worry about that.
If they did a Corpse Bride sequel where they were like carnivorous butterflies and they were everywhere and they started biting people and started the zombie apocalypse, that would be cool. I would watch that.
Or all of the butterflies latched on to other butterflies and wouldn't let go.
Totally.
They're latched on to male butterflies that are living, and then they're like, "You
just stop it.
No, just get off me, butterfly." And I
love you.
I wasn't saying that as a pirate. Get off me, butterfly.
Yar.
That movie would be rated R. Let's see here. Victor and Victoria have a child named Victory, and hold on. Victory in the movie is a poor kid trying to legally change their name. All right. How about which movie did you relate to more? And that's easy for me.
Yeah. Of course, right. I mean,
yeah. That's easy for me. Chloe. Oh. While I was hanging out with watching that movie, I was hanging out with a dog that acts like that dog. Chloe, come here. Come on. Chloe acts like that dog and wants to play all the time and throw stuff and chase stuff and like all the time. Oh, Chloe, did you like Chloe?
Tell us, baby. Tell us.
Which movie did you like better, Chloe? Really? Okay. Man, you're crazy. Yep. She liked that movie. Good girl. She's trained now. She knows when I pick her up, she's like, "Okay, we're gonna do the thing. I'm gonna talk for a minute, and you're gonna put me down." Yeah. Let's see here. So
she's saying, "Dog, I hate when you do this. Why do you always do this? Put me down, please."
Embarrassing me in public. So which one did you relate to?
Oh, it's Frankenweenie. We've all had.
We know.
my first dog. Yeah, my first dog lived for 15 years.
Oh man.
And then I lost her whenever I mean, she was there my whole childhood, basically. I lost her when I was about 15 or maybe 16 or something like that. And that was like, it was brutal. Like, she was and my parents would even be like, "Oh, your sister," and I do that stuff now with my kids. I probably shouldn't, but
do what stuff?
Be like, "Oh, look at your little," tell your little brother and your little sister, like the animals and stuff like that. And probably shouldn't, because it hit hard, but yeah, I mean, it was just, like they're part of your family. This is like, they're
completely, man. Like they become family members. I relate
20
to.
years.
Oh wow. Yeah, like I said, I went hung out with my mom yesterday. Her dog passed away, and that was really sad. It's like it's tough, man. You're just like, you get to know them and then stuff, and it's tough.
And they're always there. And they can kind of sense when you're feeling low, and like they're just we're lucky to be this stupid bunch of bald apes that have these animals that care about us.
We are, and it's really weird that they latch on, and I think I already got the point. It's weird that they latch onto us and can figure us out and can relate. Can sense, and it's weird. Dogs, the relationship between humans and dogs is very weird.
It's interesting. I was reading this book, and it's all about the dog brain and stuff. And so we all know that chimps are, I think, DNA the closest to humans. They're DNA wise, they're the closest to us, and they're more intelligent than dogs. They're whenever it comes to stuff like that. However, dogs are more socially intelligent to humans than chimps are. They did all these studies. And dogs pick up on human cues and understand human interaction more than a chimp does. Like they did these tests where they'd put, two treats under these two solo cups, or they would put a treat under two of the solo cups. And then first they let the chimp go in, and they could just randomly pick, and then they let the dog go in, and they let them randomly pick. And it was 50-50. Sometimes they got it right, sometimes they got it wrong. Well, then they did the same experiment, and they had a human pointing to the treat that had the cup. For the dog, it was like, went way up. For the chimp, it was still 50-50. And then they did it to where it wasn't even pointing. It was the human just looking at the cup. And they realized that dogs watch the whites of humans' eyes and actually look at what we're looking at by tracing the whites in our eyes. And the dog, again, it was still like 75% just with the human not pointing at it, just looking at it. And for the chimp, it's still about 50-50. Dogs have been bred and genetically have grown with us as a species, and they're our buddies, and they're more socially in tune to humans than even chimps. They understand us more by far. It's amazing.
Yeah, they're especially Chloe. She's the best. She's
the best.
She's the best. We got just two more here.
Just gushing over pups.
Yeah. Boom. Which movie made your butt pucker? Woo! I thought for sure he was going to end up covered in blue liquid.
Oh, it's black and white, maybe. No, he didn't get. Yeah.
That's when it was going to turn colors, when the blue liquid came pouring out of the. That was pretty good. Yep. In case you missed it. That made my butt pucker.
They made his too.
Yeah.
So the
All right.
the butt pucker for me for Frankenweenie has double meaning, and my family already knows this. But so first, like for me, I love nightmares. I'm a horror fan. I like when I have a good nightmare. I'm like, that's so cool. You know, like zombies or like something attacking me and something scary. When you wake up and you know it's not real, it's like that's like the best movie. You know, it's like watching a movie, except you know because it's not real. So when I have nightmares, I really enjoy them. However, like I will have nightmares where I'm like shitting in public, and it's not fun. It's like that's and my family knows I have small children, but they know like when dad's pooping, it's like game over. Don't mess with it. Like I'm weird about that. Like some people would, and even people in my family can just like go, you know, poop and like talk to you like, hey, what's going on? So blah blah blah. And I'm like, I can't do that, man. I can't deal with that. Like, and you know, and I grew up with a big family, so that it's like that's me time, I guess. You know, I'm the oldest of 6. You know, maybe that's what it is. I don't know. So there's that part of it. So why like something attacking you or messing with you while you're pooping is just like terrifying. And secondly, there was a live action Sea Monkeys thing in the 90s. I don't know if you remember, you can look it up on YouTube. And I had one of the like scariest nightmares about this child's live action sea monkey thing of like it and again my whole family knows about this because I was like terrified of these like when that's like I was like 15 and the ad came on TV and I already told my mom and stuff about the dream and I'm like the ad came on TV and I'm like kind of just looking away and she's like, are you kidding me? Like I didn't want to look at the ad on TV. Like these stupid little like live action sea monkeys scared me so much. But yeah, anything I don't mess with me while I'm pooping.
Dude, you wouldn't have liked high school. High school in the locker room, like you stand right here and they had like the wall only goes to here, so like it blocks. You're sitting down, but you could do that. You could do this like this blocking. And you could go, hey man, hey, how about that last play? Like there's no door and the wall didn't even go all the way past it. It stopped halfway, so like you could see the guy pooping next to you. You could see his knees. You know what I mean? Like
no.
Yeah, it was just those little dividers like between urinals. You know what I mean? It was little dividers like that. That was just it was funny, but you get used to it. You're just like So hey, what's up, man? Did you see that? Did you hear that new Pearl Jam single? It was awesome.
I would have either died of some infection or like gone homesick or like I couldn't.
I mean,
see, in football we went. I would always go to the field house if I had to do it at school. Like it was very rare, but if I had to. So I'd go to the field house and do it there because, like, you know, as a football player, like that was your little enclave. And one time, the freshmen were fighting when I was like a junior or something, and like one of them pushed another one into the door and it like opened, and I was just like filled with this rage, and I was like, "You're gonna die!" like, and this freshman's like, "Oh my god!" Like,
oh no!
So it's just, and I walked out like, "Where is he?"
That's hilarious. Oh boy. All right, what do we got here? Public pool I went to as a little kid. I went to as little kids. Oh, I think that's supposed to say as a little kid didn't have doors on the bathroom, on the stalls. I mean, yeah, that's wild.
Why is this a thing? Why are we? Well, and Mel says, my nightmares are having to pee and unable to find a poo-free public toilet. I pee. Well, it's easier. I guess it's easier for me because I'm a guy. But like peeing for me, I'll pee anywhere. I don't care. But poop it, like I just can't. Like it's just different. I can't do it.
You ever have dreams that you like all your teeth are like knocked out or anything like that? And weird like that? I've had weird like teeth dreams where I was like, ah.
Supposedly that means something. I can't remember what, but it's not that. But I have dreams where I'm like stretching my mouth and my teeth just like break inside, and I'm like pulling out pieces, and I'm like these teeth, you know, like and they'll it's bad.
It's
like
terrible.
Like I'm just like I'm like
that's
going, what is that?
That's why earlier when you're like, yeah, dude, I like when I have nightmares. I'm like, gross, dude. Why? I hate that because those are my kind of nightmares. I don't ever think there's a slasher, killer clown slasher after me.
Yeah, I have those and I love those. I mean,
Ugh.
the teeth thing doesn't scare me that much. It's just weird. I'm like just pulling out pieces of teeth and I'm like, God dang it. Like,
Scares me. That's me in real
Bobby,
life. That's called that's called Wednesday.
that was me. I got a bunch of dental work done last year. That was me for a while.
Well, how about this? If you were on a flight and they only had one movie, which one would you pick? Well, that's easy for me. Frankenweenie. Corpse Bride's too short, and I don't like musicals, and I didn't have fun. It was just okay. But Frankenweenie, I had a blast. I would love to watch that movie again. So there you go. How about you?
I mean, I'm gonna pick Frankenweenie, but for a little defense, like honestly, if I have a flight that is too short for Frankenweenie, I'm a happy man. So I'll love to watch Corpse Bride if it's like an hour and 15-minute flight, But no, Frankenweenie.
Yeah, I'm like, can I fast forward through the musicals? Yeah, fly to Dallas from here. Okay, it's a 30-minute flight. Cool. Fast forward through the musicals, and then it'll be great.
4 hours in the airport for a 30-minute flight. Well, could have just driven by now.
Let's see here. All right, that means, holy smokes, this is a complete, as I like to say, ass whipping. Boom. The best part. And best part is Tim Burton's the winner. Like no matter what. Yeah.
True that. Now he's lucky. Now Frankenweenie might still would have won, but he's lucky. If you haven't seen Coraline or Paranorman, those are some other ones.
I've never seen Paranorman. I keep hearing that's a good one.
Yeah. Those are some good ones too. Like those are and that might be why I haven't paid much attention to these two, because those two are my go-tos for Halloween. Like Paranorman is great and Coraline is unbelievably spectacular. Like it's probably the best. And I don't know if I guess it's stop motion, and I couldn't tell you who did it, but it's I know Neil Gaiman wrote it. I know that for sure. And it's spectacular. It's just
Paranorman.
Yeah. Well, Coraline's the best, but Paranorman's to me right there. Like, and it seems like it has that same. Both of them very much have that Johnny Depp, or I'm sorry, Tim Burton feel. But
yeah, directed by Chris Butler and Sam Fell. Screenplay by Chris Butler. And young Norman Babcock has the ability to speak with the dead, and he often prefers their company to that of the living. Norman receives a word from his strange uncle Prendergast, who's played by John Goodman, that a centuries-old witch curse on their town is real and about to come true, and that only Norman can stop it. When zombies rise from their graves, Norman must summon all of his courage and compassion and push his paranormal abilities to the limit to save his fellow townspeople. Looks like fun.
They're both very good. In fact, probably throw those in tomorrow. We'll do like some Frankenweenie, some Paranorman, some Coraline. Man,
good times. So, I guess we should announce the winner, right? The winner is, and it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious from the points. Yeah.
Knows how to party.
The winner is You Win. Fatality. Frankenweenie. Oh yeah,
Clint, you got to cover. You're the best around.
I'm not covering
for the winner.
The winner, Frankenweenie. Man, that was a good time. Guys, you got to make sure you subscribe. Yes, sir. So speaking of
Subscrote.
speaking of subscrotes, what are we doing next week?
Well, next week's our Halloweeny finale. Finale-weenie? I don't know. We talked about a lot of things. We talked about Bone Tomahawk versus the Burrowers, which is 2 horror western movies, one starring Kurt Russell. Both of them were supposed to be very good.
I like Kurt Russell.
Yeah, and it's supposedly a really good, and it's one of his recents, 2017 or something, maybe I want to say.
What is it called? Bone Tomahawk?
Bone Tomahawk, yeah. We talked about 13 Ghosts versus
2015 is a 2015 film, yeah.
And and supposedly it's the best horror western, which is not a huge subgenre, but it's out there. We could find that out for sure, but apparently it's spectacular.
It looks
we
cool.
Talked about, it's supposedly really good. It's basically they said it's basically Tombstone versus The Descent. Like, he goes in there like and fights these cave dwellers or something. We talked about 13 Ghosts versus House on Haunted Hill, like those early 2000s horror movies or ghost things. We talked about Event Horizon versus Sphere.
What was the other movie versus Bone Tomahawk?
Oh, The Burrowers. And it's a horror western as well. Kind of the same idea. These things burrow underground and kidnap people and steal them. It's pretty highly rated as well. But it's not as well known because it doesn't have as many big actors in it. But it's very good.
The Burrowers. All right. Cool, man. There we go. Who is in this? That's a 2008 movie. David Busey, Clancy Brown.
Okay.
So
David Busey is Gary Busey's kid. Clancy Brown is the big guy from Highlander.
Yeah, I mean, and what is this about? What is that movie about?
It's supposedly. Go ahead.
Let's see. Just before an Irish rancher gets married in the Wild West, his fiance's village is raided. Together with other ranchers, he searches for clues. However, a young woman makes the men doubt that they are on the right track.
And didn't say it there. I guess they're, playing coy. But supposedly there are these creatures again that burrow underground and kidnap people. And they figure that out and hunt them down as well. I have seen neither of these movies. They're both
cool,
fairly good rated. But I know that we had talked about doing a Western a while back, and like literally every person I know that's seen Bone Tomahawk has nothing but super high praise for it. So, and it's got Kurt Russell in it, so it's going to be good.
I say if we're not going to do, if we're not doing Terrifier 2 versus something,
I rewatched Terrifier 1. It was tamer than I remember. So
Terrifier 2's got people passing out in the theater.
If it was streaming, I'd say we'd do it, but I don't. It's only in limited theaters right now, so I don't know how many people could actually go watch it.
There's 2 of them,
but we could do it. We could go. I'll go see it tomorrow. We can do a review on it.
Woo! Yeah, let's do that. We'll do Burrowers versus Bone Tomahawk. So you guys in the chat got it. You guys know what we're doing, and these are horror westerns. We've had some people that have really liked our Tombstone Wyatt Earp versus, and so maybe some of those people will enjoy this. Chris Jericho is in Terrifier 2. What the hell are we waiting for?
Yeah. I rewatched the first one and it was a lot tamer than I remember. It's not I mean, it's still don't get me wrong, it's very graphic. But like I don't know, maybe just but the performance by the Art the Clown guy is great. But it just I don't know, it didn't I don't know. But I'm a horror fan, so and I was gonna see if Uzi wanted to go check it out, Terrifier 2.
Where's
last
Uzi
weekend.
tonight? Uzi is not here.
I don't know. She was sick last weekend, so I don't know if she's. Hopefully, she's feeling better. Yeah, and that's the thing. And I asked a few people, and they were waiting for it to stream. So
When it does stream, we'll watch it.
totally,
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Worth all this mishmash, moon hoona.
Well, cool, gang. Subscribe. I mean, subscribe, and you know what we're gonna do next week now. So it's coming. Yeah. Burrowers versus Bone Tomahawk. Party time. Guys, the chat, we love you guys. We appreciate you coming back every week. And
thank you so much,
Curtis. Thank you for coming back every week. And
hey, man, love to be here.
Hell yeah. And we will see you guys.
This theater's starting to smell like
it is. It's starting to. What? I took a dump in the back in the litter box back there.
It was an omen. I noticed.
Yeah. Bullet Train. Yeah, we can add Bullet Train. That was a fun movie. I've seen it and I enjoyed it. I'll see. Have you seen that one yet, Curtis?
I have not. That's we can start.
Bullet
Train
Train
in November too. When does it come out? Streaming and stuff.
I don't know, but we could do Bullet Train versus Snowpiercer.
Fuck yeah!
Those are two. Those are two fun movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Thank you for making us feel special, all of you wonderful chat people.
Yes. For all you guys. That is the love horn, as I call it. I used to call something else the love horn, but we'll call that the love horn now. And, gang, we'll see you guys soon. Keep it gangster. And we'll see you next time. Before I make any more stupid jokes. Damn, that was loud.
Have fun storming the castle.